What's up, friends? Keith Wilson here. If you want to eliminate confusion and frustration and problems in your relationship, whether at work or at home, you need to watch this video. A really simple thing you can do that will just save you a lot of effort and a lot of tears and frustration. Tell this story real quick. I was on site with a client the other day in Northern Kentucky. Great guy. We're talking about some of the things we're doing with their team, and this is the conversation that happened. He's saying we need to do some things here, and here, kind of talking a lot, extroverting a lot out, and I'm listening and trying to understand. And he said, "Does that make sense?" Which is a great question. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And I said, yeah. And I did this thing where I said, sounds like you're saying if we want to do X, we have to do Y first, and we've got to get so-and-so involved before we go there. And I said, is that right? And he goes, no. What I'm saying is, before we even get to X, we need to make sure that we take care of A, and we need to talk to that person, and then we can do da-da-da-da-da. Simple thing. We're always afraid to say no in conversations, which is so funny. But it brought understanding, right? He asked the question, does that make sense? But what I've gotten in the habit of doing better, because I didn't do this well for a long period of my life, was restating what I'm hearing. He said, does that make sense? Yes, it sounds like you are saying A, B, and C. And then he said, no. If we'd have walked away from that conversation, I would have been functioning as if this thing was true, but really what he wanted was this thing, and that would not have helped. There would have been frustration, or at the end of it, at the minimal confusion, maybe would have found out along as we went, but probably not. And I would have gone down a path that wouldn't have been helpful. If you can restate what people are saying to you several times in every conversation, you will find a level of understanding, a depth of understanding that will change your relationships, change your work, change your marriage, your kids, your relationship with the neighbor who doesn't cut his lawn along the right line, whatever it is, I promise you. And you'll be the envy of other people because you have understanding and less confusion. Everybody wants less confusion, right? I love this phrase. People distrust, not trust, distrust the vague, and trust what is clear. Restate it. Make sure you have understanding. And if you're in a work situation, I usually restate that in an email and send it on for confirmation. I've told several clients this lately because it leaves zero room for confusion. And if there is later, we have something to come back to as a record. So restate some things. Trust me when you go home tonight. If you do this, it will affect your understanding of each other in a relationship before there's a problem. If you want to prevent more problems, I'd love to help you do that. I'm Keith Wilson with Inceptus. If you're watching this somewhere, you probably know how to message me, and I'd be happy to talk to you or your team or whoever it is about how we can help you better communicate, how we can help you do awesome work together.